Well, good morning to you on this Thursday. Let me get this set up a little different. I am shooting it towards the design aspect, information that she got, I think yesterday. I just saw it on her Facebook page. So let's get this set a little bit different for you. Let's focus on the design world today. So, good morning to you. How is everything going? Starting a little late. I've been working through some things for a very close family member's family friend that evidently was in the hospital. So I was working through that and wanted to make sure that everything was okay before I came on and talked with all of you. So, how is everybody doing this morning? Are you having a good, healthy day? That's what it's all about. You know, the greatest wealth in life is when we have our health. I know everyone's trying to reach for this amount of money and want this materialistic thing. And in the end, isn't our health where our wealth is? Amen to that is what I have to say. So let me say good morning to some of you. Good morning, Jolene. I think she was the first one on this morning. Good morning, Eunice, to you. Good morning, Kimberly. Good morning, John. And Dean Bryan, Kimberly Day, Eunice to you, John Brenfleck, and Jolene Bowser, Candy Cox. Good morning, good morning, good morning. We've got about 17. We'll go up to in our 20s, 30s. Do you remember those ages? If only we knew then what we know now. Isn't that always the saying? Good morning to Christine. All right, grab some coffee, grab some tea. So this is to get me back playing the piano. Can you see that? It says Kauai. Kauai, the future of the piano. Yes, I need to get back to playing the piano. How many of you are artistically talented, musically inclined? Let me know. Let me know if you or your kids are playing music. Boy, that's a good topic, right? The fact that the arts a lot of times are canceled in school. I heard that from different parents telling me that music is no longer offered in their school system. And I was like, what? We're taking those things away? Tell me if that's true. Since I don't have children, I didn't know that. I wanted to play the piano when I was a little girl. I went to Sacred Heart School in Florissant, and unfortunately, piano was not offered. So my dad said, how about playing the saxophone? So I played the saxophone growing up. Love it. I still have it. I need to get that reed taken care of and maybe tuned up, and maybe I can play again. But I got a piano about 1.5 years ago. Oh gosh, no. Has that been 2 years? 2 years ago. Dang it. So it's been about 1.5 years since I was playing, and then it's been about 1 year. Unfortunately, do any of you play the piano? Unfortunately, reading. I don't know how to play by ear. I know some people say you can teach that, but I think it's more of an art of having that as a talent within you already, God-given talent. For me, I would be reading, and ever since I had those concussions from the accident, it's so hard to sit down and read and not get nauseous and dizzy. So frustrating. I'm trying to find my way back to it. Just thought I would share a little bit of me today. Deborah Wilson, good morning. Kathleen Morgan, Aaron Stiles, Terry Lanham, good morning. Linda Eckert, good morning. Carrie Samuelson, good morning. Candy Cox, good morning, good morning. All right, grab some coffee, grab some tea, and let's kick things off. Bridget Hercules says, have a blessed day. Good morning, Angie. So today's topic is from Rick Fisher, and Rick wanted me to discuss when all this information in life comes at you, how do you process through it and be able to make informed and, I guess, positive decisions in life, making the decisions that are worthwhile in your personal life and I'm sure in your professional life. He said he thought it would be a good topic. So yes, good morning to Julie Emery as well. Are you heading off to work? Good morning, Julie. Are you heading off to work? Are you relaxing at home? Do you work from home? Again, we're still trying to figure out your life and what's best for you this morning. So people hopping on and off, if you have to head off to work, come on back to this podcast later so that you can receive the message. So as we get information, and I think what he meant by that is there's so much clutter in the day. So I used to tell people, when it comes to the mental, spiritual side of life, that as you're waking up in the morning and you're setting in your intention and you're like, I've got this day. And then something happens within your home and it tries to take you off course and change how your positive intentions are. You then get in the car, Maybe flip on your favorite music or flip on your favorite podcast or, whatever it is, or maybe you just sit in silence and meditate. Then you're driving along and then there's somebody who cuts you off and there's road rage that almost starts. You got to keep bringing yourself back, right? It's these messages of negativity and toxicity. Then you see billboards that say something that infuriate you. Somebody on the radio suddenly says something, so you flip that radio off. You keep trying to set that ship back, right? It's trying to steer off course, or maybe even tries to flip upside down, and you're trying to figure out how do you upright that ship. Well, again, it's all in what do you want in your heart and your mind. That's why we talk about the mental, spiritual, physical connection and the balance of life. Good morning, Sean Fitzgerald. Good morning to Lynn. Sanjay, good morning to you. So think about this, right? You have set your intention. You have control over your mind and your feelings, but somebody within the home tries to change it. Somebody on the radio tries to change it. The billboard tries to change it. Somebody in the lane flips you off and, starts to tail you. And you're like, holy cow, I'm just trying to have a great day. All those things happen. So many things, so many messages. Then you get to work. And then your boss is in a bad mood, or your coworkers are in a bad mood, and you keep trying to stay in your bubble. You keep trying to forge forward. And then you go through the day, and are you exhausted by the end of the day because of all the messages that were coming your way, things you read on Facebook, negativity that someone lashed out on Twitter, on Instagram, on YouTube, all these social media channels. You come home. Whew, that sounds like chaos, doesn't it? That sounds like just pure exhaustion to me. Good morning to Brenda. Good morning, Syed. So you try to rewrite the ship. You come back home. You see the people that you love in your home, your kids, your spouse, your partner, boyfriend, girlfriend, doesn't matter who. Or you invite a friend to come over and you start to say, boy, this day started off great and here's all the things that tried to go wrong. Well, then you've got hours left to salvage it, don't you? Do you let all the messages and all the negativity of the world affect the way of the rest of the hours of the day? So you come home from work, maybe 5 or 6 o'clock. Well, what time do you go to bed? 9, 10? You've got 4 or 5 hours to salvage. So why would you say that the entire day was wasted? I hear that from a lot of people. Let's just forget this day and move on to tomorrow. Well, wait a minute. You still have 4 hours. You're still blessed with 4 more hours. Think about the people that are on their deathbed that wish they had 1 more minute. Right? The power of the second. People used to say, seize the day. And I would hear that and say, no, I'd say seize the second, the millimeter of a second, every little breath that we have that we're blessed with, because it changes just like that, right? Good morning, Dan. Good morning, Terry. Love these good tips. Thanks for being our voice. You're welcome. Good morning, Tina Gerbitz. And so what we're talking about is all these messages that can come into they don't just come into your brain, right? They then sink down into your heart and sink down into your soul. And then they push down and get suppressed if you let them. So we're always talking about how you have power over your emotions and you have power over the feelings and the way your mind thinks. So let's go back to that. How could that day have changed? Anybody I like this workshop aspect. If you get a chance, I'd like for you to tell me how that day could have been salvaged from the early morning wake-up call. Or hopefully you don't have to get up by an alarm. Hopefully you wake up and it's a calm mind. And my watch always, if you have these Apple Watches, or if you are, maybe you've got something that sits by your nightstand, and it's some type of journal that has a positive thought. So it's the first thoughts that go into your mind. The Apple Watch has that mindfulness, and it tells you to start your day with 1 minute of mindfulness. And I was like, yes, I love that Apple's doing that, and I love that that's a part of it. That gives you that same mindset that I ask all of you, which is the intention. Before you get out of bed, set the intention, literally before you get out of bed, because otherwise, you know what happens. Suddenly, everything goes in a different path than you wanted it to. You're trying to set the intention, and then you get up and, like I've said before, you step on a dog toy. Dang dog toy! Or the kids come screaming, and Johnny hit Susie, and whoo, here we go. It's starting. So, what do you have to do to keep all those messages from putting you in a bad place to start your day? But again, do you understand how many times you can? I always like to say, rewrite the ship. So the ship tries to veer off course, I guess I should say, and then you put it back, right? So tell me how many times you allow people to change the course of your ship, because that's what you're doing. You're allowing them. So let's go back. Let's do the workshop aspect. Tell me how that day could have been salvaged. Type it in. right? So it's the intention, then something happens in the home. Get into the car, turn on some music, better place. See a billboard, don't like what it says. All these things keep entering the mind. Somebody cuts you off, somebody flips you off, somebody's mean on the roadways. Don't pay attention to them, don't give them power. Get to work, don't let the boss affect you, don't let the coworkers affect you. Get back home. Salvage the 4 or 5 hours that you have left after you've come home from work. Appreciate the blessings that are in your life. If you say, I don't have any blessings, yes, you do. Sometimes you have to dig a little harder, you dig a little deeper into the soul and understand they're there. You've been missing them. You haven't been present in your own life. I ask some of my new life coaching clients about that. I said, are you really present when you're making decisions in your job? Are you present in your relationships? And the answer for a lot of them has been, nope. And I was like, well, then you're not receiving the true message. You are missing the message. Good morning, Jamie. Good morning, Bill. Good morning, Jim. Good morning, Trent. I like to see so many a balance of men and women, and hopefully you're passing these messages along to your kids because it can be really powerful for them before they go off to school. Maybe let them listen to this, or at least take a message from it and pass it along to them. That's really what it should be all about, that we are human beings wanting to give back to the world, that we want to pay it forward, that we want to make it a better, more blessed place. Good morning, Sherry. Good morning, Katie. Good morning from Katie and the kids. That's right. So the kids are listening. That's what I was just asking. Let's pass that message along to them because let's think about those cute little souls. They're up. They are constantly like a little sponge absorbing and watching everything that you're doing at home. You're driving them off to work. You're showing them safety. You are talking with them. You're making them laugh, hopefully. You've given them good nourishment in the morning. Now they've gone off to school. And now you're trusting the handoff to the education system, to those teachers and to their peers. And we've talked before about sometimes the kids can be the best or they can be so mean because they don't know any better and they're lashing out and they're being bullies. So the kids need the message before they get to school in the morning about how to keep themselves in their own little bubble, to not let those kids affect them, to know that it is a temporary, and then in life, it'll change. Hopefully that they don't give them the power from childhood all the way into adulthood of something that was said or something that was done that affected. See, messages. So Rick Fisher, again, was the one that asked us today he asked me, how do you sort through all the messages in life to make informed decisions? And it's all about clearing the mind. Chaotic and cluttered mind can never make smart and really clear decisions, right? How can you? I was life coaching someone yesterday and she was telling me about all these problems that were going on at work and just, the world looking at her as a role model, but she didn't necessarily see that in herself. And I said, do you think you can be a leader? Do you think you are now or can be in the future? And she said, yes, but I put on a mask. And I said, right. I talked about that the other day. Masking the pain or putting on a mask and not showing your authentic self because you think the messages of the world are against you. You think you're standing up on stage and you don't like the physical side of who you're presenting. And you think there are all these messages coming into your head of, oh, I wonder if anybody's thinking that I don't look my best. Or no, calm your mind. The informed decisions come from a clear part of the mind, right? Clarity. Let's go back here. So Terry, good morning. Bill, good morning. Hope you have a great day. I hope you do as well. Brenda, thank you. I needed this reminder. I give the negative things I hear too much time in my mind. Wagging dog tails remind me of happiness, unconditional love. Thanks for the message. You're welcome. And thank Rick again for this topic. Angela Writings, good morning. Steve Mounts, good morning. So we're talking about the messages. And again, understand that messages come in all different forms in life and how to make informed decisions. I wouldn't make a powerful, really important decision in life if you have a chaotic and cluttered mind. Right? It would almost be like thinking of somebody having alcohol and their mind, right? They tell you when you are under anesthesia and you come out, you sign something by the doctor that says, don't make any important decisions over the next 24, 48 hours. Well, it's the same thing. Why would you make a really important decision in life when you have chaos and clutter going on in your mind? Why would you? Because it's kind of like the anesthesia effect. Wait a minute, I wish I could go back 24 hours. I wish I could go back 48 hours. I didn't make that right decision. Well, then sit down, ask those people to wait, get back with them, give them a timely, say, I'll get back with you in 24, 48 hours. Sit with it because you've got messages coming all over the place. The mind is chaotic. There's too much chaos. There's too much clutter going on. So when Rick asked about making informed decisions because of all the messages, and when I heard that, I was like, exactly. Good morning, Steve. Good morning, Katie. Good morning to Misty. Good morning to all of you. Relax if you can, or if you're getting ready to head off to work, put your earbuds in, or just, set it down. Please don't hold it and watch it while you're driving. Please be safe out there. Wherever you're taking this in, I would really love for you to pass it along to those that are suffering in your life. If it's you, I'm glad you're receiving the message. If it's somebody else that needs to hear this, just say, hey, I heard something today from a podcast I'm listening to, and it talked about how when we're making decisions in relationships, when we're making decisions in the workforce, when we're parents talking to our children and trying to make decisions in their little minds and their lives, if you are not in a good headspace, well, then I wouldn't probably try to steer anyone or make those decisions until you are in a calm place. Do some meditation, do some breathing, clear the chaos from the mind. Then you can make that informed decision. So, Rick, when you asked me that question, that's how I took it, that it is chaos and clutter and too many messages. Sometimes it's too many messages coming at you that you allow space in the brain. Why do you give it space? If it doesn't serve you, let it go in and out. There are things from my past that people bring up and I'll go, yeah, I don't even remember that. If somebody got into an argument about something, it doesn't serve my brain. It doesn't serve my life. It definitely doesn't serve my heart and soul. So let it go. That song, Let It Go. Start singing it. Let it go. It doesn't serve you. Jolene, it's such a challenge when dealing with brain fog on a daily basis. I try to steer clear of negativity, but I have a difficult time when I can't get past brain fog. It's an unfortunate side effect of fibromyalgia. Yes. And, I hear a lot of women as well. They talk about during pregnancy, they have brain fog. I had that brain fog after my concussion. I get it, but I think it goes back to when you're experiencing that fog, just allow yourself some grace. Sit down. If you're suffering from an ailment or some kind of pain, anything like, that alters your state, well, don't make any decisions. Take that time for yourself. Relax. Sit down. Listen to some positive music. Clear the mind. Close the eyes. And take in the good message, the message of the clarity of the music. Or if you want to hear and listen to soft meditation, it will bring you back into not an altered state, but a clear state. We don't want to live our lives in an altered state. Patty, good morning. Sean, good morning. Jillian, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Good group today. Well, again, we're talking about making decisions when there's so much that comes at you. I mean, just think about it. If you could actually, I love visualization. I want you to think of messages just flying at you, right? You're like this in a video game trying to steer. And then all of a sudden you see the good ones coming at you and you let them come right at you. And they don't go like, oh, the game's over. No, the game's just beginning. Let them come into the heart. Let them come into the brain. It's the negative ones. It's the toxic ones that we do the constant bob and weave back and forth. Does that make sense to you? I hope so. Jolene, you're welcome. Magnesium supplement helps with brain fog along with vitamin D3. Dr. Terry, she's not really a doctor, but just having fun with her. Terry, thank you. So somebody might want to try that out. Again, either vitamin supplements, any kind of medicine, always remember to check with your doctor. So we're not saying that this all works with everyone, but yeah. So Terry's suggesting something. So I'm hoping that visualization I just gave you makes sense to you, because when the world feels like it's mounting against you, when you feel like you are in that I've heard people say, oh, the black cloud is over me, and it's just like funneling, and I feel like I'm in a tornado. Yeah, that sounds exhausting. I want you to be back in a good space here in your heart, in your soul, in your mind. How do you get back there? You start releasing all that negativity that started from the morning, right? You got to get back to the morning intention. That's where everything was good, right? That's before the chaos entered. And it's before you allowed it to take rent in your head. You gave the lease to the chaos. Good morning, Janice. I'm going through this and was recommended it. I've seen results. Awesome, Terry. Terry says Jolene says I take magnesium and vitamin D3 on a daily basis. Okay, so just different aspects. I talk with your doctor or just review and find the thing that works for you. Yeah, brain fog's not a good place to be in, and from fibromyalgia, obviously it's a side effect from it. But Think about other people that aren't suffering, though, from pain and ailments. And they are just walking around in a fog because they allow life to have power over them. So you'll hear me say that a lot. Good morning to Dave Hall. Take a drink of your tea and coffee. Mine's tea. I just want you all to be in a good place, right? So why did I start this podcast from home? I started it to start getting the message out to the world. I think it's a really powerful thing that we can do together. And I stress that we can. So yes, I can give you tools from counseling people and helping them for 25 years. That's really what we do as personal trainers and wellness directors and anyone in the health and wellness field. We're not in it to just do one aspect. We know that when we are training you, that one, you trust us, that two, that there are many things going on in here and here that affect here, correct? So if the body looks like it's chaos, trust me, the mind and the heart are not in a good place. And it's all about the fact that it's allowed messages to come in. Anybody have any comments, any aha moments, any questions about that? I wish we were together, but we will make that happen in the future. And we're going to be doing workshops together. That's my ultimate goal, that I want to get in front of the audience. I want to do smaller groups like we do on Thursday nights. Oh, by the way, I have an incredible guest that's on tonight. His name is Jeff. And just like I speak on the balance of life, how important the triangle is that you fill out every morning. I have my clients fill that triangle out, and they put the positive and the mental and the spiritual in the spaces where it's needed. On the top, it's the greatest focus. What do you need when you first wake up in the morning? And then what do you need to attend to in the middle? And then what's on the bottom? The bottom is usually what you are best with on that particular day. Remember, the triangle flips around and flips around. Well, Jeff's mantra and what he speaks on has to do with so many things. Know your intrinsic value, your worth. He talks about so many things. He's got a book. He's an entertainer. He's a juggler. I can't wait to have him on tonight. So he's on my Thursday night class. Sometimes I'll have guests on from all around the world. And that used to be a private thing with my clients for the last 3.5 years. And I mentioned it isn't any longer. So if any of you want to be a part of that, you drop in. It's only $25, and it's the best $25 you will have ever spent, because you are with a like-minded community. You are with people who will lift you up, not tear you down. You want more of that in your life. You don't want the negativity. You don't want the black cloud, do you? No, because the world can try to be against you, and then you just keep walking with your head up, your shoulders back, your chest high, and you say, no, world, I've got this. I've got this because I'm starting to learn the way I take care of me first and foremost. And then guess what? Your spouse, your kids, your friends, family, people you work with, everyone notices it and says, I don't know what you're doing, but you're glowing. You seem so much happier. You are. Your heart's happy. It shows here. Just want to repeat something you told me yesterday that I wrote in my journal this morning. You aren't backtracking. You are moving forward. Yes, so Katie's one of my new private clients, and Katie, absolutely. We've had some really good sessions so far. And why does she tune into this every morning? Why is she doing that for herself? Because she doesn't want the chaos. She wants to make the informed decisions, right? You should want that for yourself. So seek out, whether it's myself or another life coach or a counselor or anyone that can help you get away from the chaos. I'm here for you. That's one of the reasons that I flipped over to starting this brand and starting a whole new path, so that I could give back to this world. That God has blessed me with so many things in my life with regards to giving back to this world, but it's through Him. I give all the grace to Him and the messages that He provides for me. What's in my mind, what's in my heart that I provide to you. It's all from up above. That's just my thoughts, my feelings. Janet Thomas, good morning. Kimberly Reedy, or Righty. Jackie Smith, good morning. I said hi to Dave. And there's my Aunt Tootie. I had a wonderful lunch with her, my mom and my brother yesterday. We were celebrating March birthdays, and it was a really good time. I don't know if she's still on, but we had a great time together. So any questions, any comments, any aha moments? Katie just passed that along to you. I'm going to say that again. I told her, she said, okay, well, I've gone this far. I've been taking care of my business, and now I'm backtracking. And I was like, nope. Never backtracking, always moving forward. And I asked her to write that down, and obviously she did. And she's putting it in her journal today, focusing on that instead of the words that were, right? The informed decision couldn't come today if all her mind was thinking of was backtracking. You're not backtracking. In fact, you're doing the antithesis of that. You are absolutely taking the wheel right here, and she's steering. She is, whether she's in the car or she's in the ship, she's rewriting her course, not backtracking. Again, why do we dip into the past? It's not to say you can't, but why do we? Only to learn a lesson and take it forward. Only use from the past the things that serve you today. Don't get stuck in the past. Don't backtrack, as she was saying. We don't want to go back there and live in the headspace that doesn't serve us. Those would be the cluttered messages. Okay? Good morning, Angie. Good morning, Joy. And good morning to Mark. Good morning, Janet. So what we're talking about today is how we make informed decisions when there's so many messages coming at us and so much clutter. Oh, beautiful bluebird just visited me on the window. See? There's a little message in life. Good morning. See, they just chirp away. We should look at nature a little bit more. Flying around, I'm looking outside the window and just enjoying the beauty of nature. And it's there, by the way, because some people could look outside and say, well, all I see are dead leaves and the tree bark, and it's cold. And I say, spring's coming. We're in it. Those will turn green, right? We're not going to stay in the past. The past is cold and winter. We have sprung forward. Then we'll get to summer and fall, and it repeats. The seasons changing. Life changes. Are you on board to allow only the positivity to go forward? Good morning, Angie. Good morning, Stephanie. Jillian, how do you make informed decisions when you're depressed? Well, we talked about depression the other day. Why would we want to stay in the depression? We have to find our way out of it. Do you sit in a chair and all you see is darkness? All you see is different from what I see. Do you just look outside and say it's dark? Then it's light. See, there's always a change, right? The darkness becomes light. The negativity becomes positivity, if you let it. Or do you shut the blinds? Do you put blankets up so that it always looks dark? No. Don't you want out of it? I don't think you want to stay in the depression. I know you don't. I know you want to get to the light. So you have to take the steps to start moving out of the depression. But it's a choice in getting out of it. It's not going to happen overnight if you've been depressed for a while, but I would suggest not hanging around people that keep you in that state of depression. Toxic people. Surround yourself with more positivity. Listen to more podcasts. Listen to uplifting music. Read books. Find friends. Join community groups. There's a way out of it. You have to believe. Look for that light. Pamela Miller, good morning. Stephanie, good morning too. Thanks, Monica. I'll watch this video later. Have a great day. Make it count. Oh, yes, that's right. Thank you for reminding me about the Cardinals. A lot of you, tell me that before we wrap up. How many people are going down for opening day, whether you have a ticket to the game or you're just going for the celebration? I have a client coming to the house in about a half hour, and then I have meetings that start at about 9:45, and they continue all the way into my life class tonight. So if you're not going to the game, or if you go to the game, I don't even know what time it is. I have subtracted myself from the world for the last few months. People have been asking me different things. Somebody said something about, is there bad weather coming tomorrow? I don't know. I haven't looked at a forecast since I left on January 2nd. Honestly, I just go outside and I live. And if it rains, it rains. I've got an umbrella in the car. Are you prepared for life? You know, if I step outside and it's cold, I grab a coat. I also have an emergency kit in the car. So see, that's called prepared, being organized. I don't need to know the forecast. Honestly, I can get up that day and Google on my phone and type in STL weather, and it'll tell me whether it's going to rain, snow, if I really want to know. Otherwise, I think you can kind of figure it out. It's interesting. All the time we spend on thinking we need to know all of that. And all that, by the way, that kind of adds to all that information. There's like 2-3 minutes worth of weather sometimes that goes on. And I always am like, I didn't hear any of that. I got to go back and actually type in STL weather. Oh, the high today is what? Okay. There was an entire forecast that was just said, and I didn't hear any of it because it just sounded like clutter. It's like, I don't need that. I don't need that. I just need to know what's the high and low today. To me, it would literally be 2 seconds. What's the high? What's the low? Or what's the 5-10 day forecast? Haven't watched it. And isn't it amazing? I've lived for 3 months without knowing any of that. Now, with regards to traffic, I get in the car and might put in the address if I'm driving in morning traffic, and then it'll tell me if there's a roadblock or an accident, or I turn on the radio and used to listen to Lance Hildebrand, loved him on my 98, by the way. I don't know what he's doing these days. I know he was trying to, shift around I just thought he was great. Roger Brand, by the way, if you want to listen to Traffic on the Radio, he's fantastic. And Paul Cook, who I absolutely love. I understand Paul. Paul, I don't know if he's doing part-time or full-time. Somebody said part-time, but Paul is doing TV again. Paul's actually doing my old traffic job on Channel 5. So kudos to you, my friend. He is a dear, dear soul. I've known him for many years in broadcasting. The man went through a lot of stuff in cancer. He is a cancer survivor. So proud of him, and he's a wonderful person. So if you do still watch TV, give him a shout out and let him know that he's doing a great job if you get a chance to watch him. Okay, so Stephanie, also not always that easy if you're depressed. Oh, she said that. I think we attached that one earlier. Jane, Joanne, Stephanie just laughed. I'm not sure what she laughed at. Good morning. You just make me feel good listening to you. Thank you. Good morning. And thank you, Janet. Thank you for an uplifting message today and for responding to my concern. I appreciate you taking the time to respond. I feel like I can start my day on a bit of a more positive note today. That's what this is all about, this community. I love that message. So thank you and God bless you. God bless you, Jolene. Good morning to Barbara Corey as well. All right, so let's spend about another 10 minutes and then we'll wrap up. I hope you have had a great start to your day. It sounds like, Jolene, that's just a beautiful message. And so that's the thing that she's trying to pass along to all of you is take something from this podcast and then continue it. So when I wrap up, you can go back and listen to the other ones that are on the page. This page that you're on, this Facebook business page. Go back. I'd like at some point for these to be put onto a podcast platform, all that content that's already there, it's some beautiful content, to pass it on. I'm going to figure out, maybe I'm going to have a dear friend of mine, she's got some time open, I might have her research that, pay her a little money to take care of that for me because these are the things I don't have time for. But I know that these messages are too powerful to just sit here on Facebook and be in the past. They need to be out there to the world. So first and foremost, share all of those. If you can, go back. If you haven't listened to them all, we're talking about a good probably 2.5 weeks worth since we started this. Maybe we're on 3. I'm trying to remember. I think this is closing in on 2.5 weeks. And then we've got all of our topics lined up for the beginning of April. And now we need new ones. So what would you like me to talk about in the second week of April and moving on? This is the home version of the podcast, and we're talking about moving this to studio so that I can bring guests on. We can continue to really change the world and up the game even more. I'd love to even bring some of you on. Some of you are writing me and talking about some really incredible people in your lives because that's something else I want to do. I want to showcase the good in our world. I don't want to talk about the negative things. Yes, they exist, but we need to do things to prevent that, right? Let's be proactive and not react after horrible things happen in the world. We've got to be better people ourselves. So we have to work on ourselves so that chaos and that negativity and that toxicity, you start to knock the negativity away with your positivity. And hopefully more and more people that are kind of in that toxic world start seeing that and want to become better versions of themselves. And maybe we can get rid of this craziness that happens in our lives. Vincent, Judy, Carrie, James, Stephanie, Todd, Vicky. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Tons of incredible people. You're all beautiful, valuable people. I want you to know that. Before you start your day, I want you to say one word to yourself. One word of positivity. Please don't look in the mirror and tear yourself down and say, oh, I wish I didn't have this flab there. I wish this was more defined. I wish I didn't carry all this weight on me. I wish my face didn't have so many wrinkles. Think about all of that. You're sabotaging your life with that self-negative talk. No, no, no. If you have little kids in your home, they hear and they are watching all of that. You are their role model. I don't care who they get asked. Sure, they'll get past that time of, oh, parents, my parents are dorks. Oh, my parents, no, it's this athlete, it's this star. They say that temporarily. We all did it. But it's when they're asked later in life when it really matters. Who's your role model now? My parents. Right? So parents understand that those kids are watching. You might still be taking them off to school. Maybe you dropped them off at school. When they come home, let them watch you be positive. Let them watch you not tear yourself down because they're always watching. They're always little sponges. Good morning to Judy. Anne, have a great day to you. I believe Anne's off this week. Yes. So, any aha moments, any questions, any comments, anything you want me to write down for future topics, let me know. Now, in the last 5 minutes, go Cardinals. Kicking off, and I'm not sure, I think the day is supposed to be nice. I'm going to salvage it after all my meetings today and go for a nice walk, maybe go for a hike, take in some positivity and some vitamin D, and then have an incredible life coaching class. If any of you want to continue this type of positive message, my guest tonight will be extremely powerful. That is open to the public. You just have to get a hold of me. Again, it's a $25 drop-in. I send you the link and you become a part of the community. And then we actually get a chance to talk together. Good morning, Brad. Good morning to all of you. If I didn't get a chance to see your name, which I think I did, I hope you have a wonderful start to your day. And so again, the topic of today, you can go back and listen to this podcast. It has to do with how do you make informed decisions when there are so many messages coming at you? So much, I call it clutter, so much chaos. If it is the negative stuff, instead, let's push the negative thoughts away, push the signs that we don't like, and then take more into our space here of what serves us. Keep that. Oh, we've got a lot of people. Here we go. Hold on. Dana, I think I said good morning. Okay, Linda, I have a sign in my bathroom to remind me every morning. It says, one small positive thought in the morning can change I think it's going to say your rest of your day or your whole day. Yes, I've seen that. I love that. And if you don't have the same message, write your own. Everybody, write your own. Take something from these podcasts and write your own. You don't have to go out and spend money on those little wooden ones. Make your own. Or go to one of those classes, by the way. They have those woodworking classes. Make your own sign. Go to one of those painting parties, painting classes. Paint your own picture. Paint what you want in your life. Good morning, Brad. Setting boundaries. Okay, can you tell me a little bit more? Give me a little more context on that, Carrie. Let me add that. I've got my list downstairs. Setting boundaries, she wants as a future topic. And that can go into our second week of April. Setting boundaries. Oh, and you know what? I'm going to add motivation because somebody asked me that yesterday. Motivation and what that looks like. Self-motivation, if you need someone to motivate you. So this is going to be the second week of April. We'll do these two topics, and I'll add them to my list. Carrie, can you give me a little more context? What do you mean by setting boundaries as a future topic? If you can give me that, and then we'll wrap up in just a bit. Hello, you're amazing, and all your topics are hitting where and what I need to hear. Thank you for being you. Dana, cheers to you. Thank you for being you. By the way, whenever you do a cheers, whether it's with water, tea, wine, beer, a drink, it doesn't matter. Make sure you actually take a sip. When you cheer, they say that that's called, hey, you can't finish the cheer unless you have a sip. Agree. Make your own signs. I teach painting class. There we go. Oh, I love helping people out. So Linda says she teaches painting classes. Get a hold of Linda Eckert if you want to do a painting class. Thanks and cheers to your podcast. Thank you, Dana. Kate, good morning to you. And yeah, Carrie, if you can just give me a little more context to the setting the boundaries, that would be great. Who's going to the Cardinal game? Let me know before we wrap up. I don't have to wrap up just yet. I still have a little time before my client gets here. Who's going to the Cardinal game? If you're not, are you just going down for the festivities and then maybe coming back home? Are you going to watch the game? I won't be doing any of that. I've got a busy day. At some point, my husband said, Monica, I know you've taken on a lot and it feels like I can't do all of this. And he's like, sometimes you don't have to be Wonder Woman, Monica. He's like, I know that you've been given that nickname since probably 30 years ago. For sure, 27 years ago when Johnny Rabbit gave me that nickname. He actually gave me a little lunchbox. This is the cute thing. So I used to work with Johnny when I was at WIL, and then I did news for him on WRTH. And one day he gave me a gift, and it was a Wonder Woman lunchbox. And he said, my friend, this is you. And, that was the greatest compliment because, first of all, as a little girl, I grew up wanting to be her. I love Linda Carter, and she's the real Wonder Woman, by the way. Beautiful, beautiful woman. Oh, my gosh, beautiful inside and out. And I said, you know what, that is a compliment. To this day, I still have that lunchbox. Isn't that cute? It always reminds me. But my husband also reminds me that, yes, sometimes you take on a little bit too much, and you don't have to always be Wonder Woman because she's not Wonder Woman all the time, right? Nor is Superman always Superman. They get some time off. They become the other version of themselves. They have that balance and the relaxation. I'm trying to find that balance. And right now, from a personal standpoint, it's not there for me as much because I'm just going, and making this life for myself. We have to try to make money. So I've got to survive. I wish we didn't have to because I wish I could just do these things and just keep giving back to the world. But yeah, you gotta find a way to make money, right? Thanks. Cheers to your podcast. Okay, Brenda says watching on TV Watching this one, like, are you casting this? Oh, no, never mind. You're watching the Cardinal game on TV. But I was telling everybody that for those of you that said, I want to see this more than just on a laptop or on a small, phone, cast it on your television. And no matter how big that television is, that's how you can watch the podcast on your TV. That's what I love. We could have just made this a audio podcast, which I know a lot of people are doing, but I chose to bring you into my home. And the reason for that is because you've brought me into yours, whether it was radio or TV, for 30 years, and that means something to me. So you're in my home. Let me actually show you a little something here. Look at Adelaide over here. My sidekick. Adelaide! Oh, she's like, hush, Mom, I'm sleeping. That dog is forever by her mama's side. It makes me laugh. Okay, so I wanted to say a couple more things before we wrap up. So Misty says amen. Okay, here we go. Setting boundaries for self-care. Thank you, Carrie, for giving me more context. Setting boundaries for self-care. That is a future topic for Carrie in the second week of April. Okay. Oh, it's getting lighter out here. Okay. Priscilla, good morning. And Misty, you are an amazing inspiration to many. Well, I appreciate that. Okay, so if you're watching the Cardinal game, have an incredible time. If you are not, and you're just getting on with your day, have a blessed one. I want you to set that intention for the morning. If you haven't already, you still have time before you leave the house or whatever you're getting ready to do. Just understand that you have so much you can do. This morning I said that I set this more this way so that you could see the designs. And the reason for that is I read something on my Facebook page today that said that Diane Isbell, so Hats by Diane, that her fascinators were received by the Today Show. So stay tuned. If you know Hats by Diane, hopefully her fascinators or her hats are actually used on the Today Show. Hold on one second. This is the real Monica Adams. Are you getting on your plane? Okay. Okay. Well, I love you. Have a safe flight. Okay. Bye. That's real. That's my hubby. Oh, Daddy's going to be coming home soon. Don't bark. Anyway, so Diane Isbell, congrats to you. I think it's for the coronation. Maybe they would also hang on to him for Derby, etc. But I believe someone was saying it was for the coronation. I love that woman. She's been a friend for a while. So someone passed along to her that we gave her a shout out. So seek her out if you don't. Diane Isbell, Isbell. And she has Hats by Diane. She also is the classiest as far as etiquette is concerned. I invited her to join me at a kickoff for the St. Louis Ballet, their On Point Gala, which is coming up in May, to support the ballet. I was out there doing design work, showing people what we can do at Bespoke in Clayton, also letting them know about men and women's custom designs. And I said, what the heck, you know what? This is the ballet, and they've got a kind of a Gatsby 1920s theme. And I saw her at that Become event that I spoke at, and I was like, look at these hats, they're amazing. Let me bring them along. And then she said, well, where is it? Maybe I could join you. I didn't want to take up her time because she's so busy, but she came along. I loved her for that. My friend Michelle also came along, and we were supporting the ballet, showing some beautiful designs. She asked for my address. You know what she did? She sent me a card. First of all, the outside of the card was so beautiful. Why? Because she did just this. She did calligraphy. And this is something that, Diane, I am wanting to do more and more. One of my best friends bought me this calligraphy set. She bought me all the different ink. And this one, so you know how I always say people call cobalt blue Monica blue? Look, it says, I know it's reversed, but it says Monica blue on it. And then she gave me a calligraphy book. You know what the balance of life would be? Did I actually sit down and start doing that? Did I sit down and start playing my piano? Did I start filling my heart? And I promise you all, I will do that. But I've got to get this all moving. I know that it's important to have that balance, and I want that for you as well. That's probably a good future topic. I'd like to have that one in person because we could really feed each other's soul with that. Diane not only sent that card with this beautiful calligraphy because she respected herself to take the time for it not to be sloppy, wrote this so beautifully. I opened the card. She had the most incredible message inside. And she gave me a Panera gift card and said, thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of that. Oh my gosh. You want to talk about etiquette? That's it. What a class act. And Diane, from the bottom of my heart, I'm so glad that we met years ago. I have one of her hats. I think I want to get another one for a Derby party. She's got beautiful, beautiful designs. And if anybody deserves to be on the Today Show, it's her. So stay tuned. I'll let you know as I get more information. But all I know is her post yesterday said, update, the Today Show has received the fascinators for Hoda and Jenna per their request. So I don't know if she gets to go at some point. I hope so. Or if they're just going to wear them for a coronation or whatever, but I'll let you know more. But that's why today I showed the designs, because I have forever loved fashion. You know that. If you know me, you know that. It has been women's fashion, men's fashion, helping kids, helping everybody know their true worth. Okay, so other day, before we wrap up, the other day, Adelaide came onto the podcast. Watch this. This is a big girl. Come here. Come here. Come on up. You want to show everybody? Can you see her? There we go. Let's pull this down. Hi, sweetie. People haven't had a chance to see Tessa in a while. Okay, bye, Tess. That's why, because she's always off, rushing off fast. Okay, so I've got to train. That's why I'm in my workout clothes. I've got to train my client coming up. I need to get some nourishment in me. Do that for yourself as well. Oh, gosh darn it. We got a lot of people going on here. Hold on. Holy cow. Okay, Misty, you're an amazing inspiration to many. Thank you. Sarah Lauer, good morning. Priscilla Cole, good morning. Have a great day, Pamela. Katie says, see you tonight. Yes. Anybody else want to join us tonight? Send me a message. Either an Insta message, a direct message I can get, or info@TheRealMonicaAdams.com. If you send that out, you can join us tonight. My guest is going to be incredible. It's going to be really uplifting, and you can talk with us. You can, instead of just typing away, I can actually have you join us. Brian, good morning. Charlie, good morning. Kevin, good morning. Mara, good morning. Thanks for helping me start my day off to spend it with my sisters for a Sister's Day. Can't wait to share your podcast with them. Also, thank you for the painting. Shout out. You're welcome. Painting's my art. Love sharing it with people. Yes. Forward, forward, forward. Share this on to the world, and let's get this viral. Thanks for your wake-up thoughts, and continue to be great. You're welcome. Missy, good morning. I love that. I can pause this podcast and come back to it. I showered my negativity away. I love it. Great job, Terry. OMG, she's cute. Yes, Missy, she's amazing. And Justine, good morning. Okay, so for everybody that just tuned in, go back. You got about an hour to watch. A little bit less, actually. Today we got on a little bit late, so about 50 minutes to watch of how you make informed decisions when there's so much clutter and so much, so many messages coming at you. How do you make an informed decision? So there you go. All of these, by the way, are still on my Facebook page. Good morning, Susan. Okay, as we sign off, if you're just coming on, go back and listen to this. At some point, you can always pause it and pick it back up. That's the beauty of a podcast. And right now, they're living on this Facebook page. I'm going to try to see if I can hire somebody to get them onto the podcast platforms, get them out there to the world, because this is what we need. We need more of this, more positivity, more mental, physical, spiritual balance of life connection, right? So thank you for the new topics that we will carry forward into April. I will see you all tomorrow. My plan is to be live with you right after I wrap up my clients at 6 a.m. I've got a new woman, by the way, Kathy. I can't wait to have you join us. And again, hope to see some more new people tonight on the Transformation Journey class. It is an actual class. It's not me live and you not being able to talk to me. We talk together. We solve each other's problems together. It's the highs of highs, and if you have lows of lows, we lift you back up. It's a phenomenal community that started 3.5 years ago. And I'd love for you to join us and love for you to be a part of it. Okay? All right. I've got to sign off. Have a beautiful day. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you tomorrow morning. We'll go on probably right about 7 o'clock. I'll have about a half hour with you. And again, let me know what topics I can do for you. Okay? Have a blessed day. And oh yeah, go Cardinals.